What's up everyone, it's your boy Felix the Fox, and today we are discussing the brilliant and most fun tournament mode I've seen in a 3D fighting game since the previous entry in the Sparking series, Budokai Tenkaichi 3. Now, to start this out, I want to start out with what they brought back from the older series, which was everything. Great, awesome. Yeah, as far as the tournament mode, they brought everything back as far as I can see, which is amazing to me. And now we can talk about what this video is really about, which is everything that they've added. Oh my god. Honestly, blown away from what I was expecting from this mode. Look, before we get into this, everyone's going to have their own opinions and hot takes about this game, what it did right, what it did wrong. But for this video specifically, I am just discussing the tournament mode. Other aspects of this game I will discuss in later videos, which I can't wait for. But for now, yeah, this mode was the whole reason I was looking forward to Sparking Zero. I sunk so much time into the tournament mode back when I was playing these games. It was my favorite way to immerse myself into the game and the Dragon Ball universe. Tournament arcs are like my favorite aspect about the series, and seeing them redesigned and being able to re-experience them here is like a dream come true. To start off this whole thing, I want to start with the Tournament of Power mode, which again, you can recreate any of these modes in the custom tournament option, which we will get to later, probably hands down best part of this game to me. But if you liked or didn't like Dragon Ball Super, whatever, I think everyone can agree though that the Tournament of Power was amazing. In the manga and the anime, it really just stood out to me, and being able to kind of relive that here is such a treat, and it was like a big wish list item I did have for this game. In this mode of the game, they turn off flying, which again, that alone can immerse you into the setting. Like the Tournament of Power map also offers out of bounds rules, so just like in the anime when anybody flies off or anybody gets sent over there, you're out. That's it. You're done. And it can be frustrating, but also really, really fun to pull off after like knocking somebody back like 20 feet, or after getting attacked, yourself getting out, or trying to get the other player out with you, which can also be really fun. Like manipulating the AI in this game is so great. Now, just looking at those two aspects already added so much to this mode in general. And since it's really a team battle, it already makes you feel like you're in your universe versus somebody else's. And yes, to address the fact that everyone was fighting like all at the same time, technically in the story, like you aren't getting that here because that's not what this arena fighter was designed to do. But like, I feel like having the ability to switch in and out what you choose and only have a certain time frame to do it in because of the recharge aspect, I think it can make for some really fun strategy and still gives that immersion of like, yeah, this is a big battle royale. And another feature they added, since there were no healing items allowed in the tournament, like, sensu beans and such, whatever health your characters were at in the last match, that's what they're at in the next match. No healing, just straight on to the next one, which I really enjoy. Like, the way these rule sets allow for like what you can do and everything, just immerse the player into that Tournament of Power. And I think they did a really fantastic job. And the best part is there's still 5 other modes here for us to look at. Now, the next one I want to focus on, a new one they added before we dive into the classics, is the Tournament of Destroyers. Now, a little tidbit about this, I really like this idea, and here's a little theory. I think it's 90% because of the manga. See, there is this part in the manga, which isn't in the anime for some reason, where Beerus is like taking down every destroyer at once in this big battle royale, which like we will see later with everyone else. But it was so freaking cool because like, this is why he's the GOAT. This is why Beerus was the GOAT, and he's just trashing the other destroyers. Like, they were no match for this dude. He was too goated. And so I wonder if like for this mode it was added to that because of that. And I don't know why. For some reason in the show, this was never animated. Like, why in the show did this never happen? Why did it never see the light of day? It was amazing. Anyways, this mode is also a team battle mode, and this time, anytime one of your team members dies, you don't get them in the next match, which I think is pretty amazing. Like, you still get the full heal if your characters live through it, thank God, but if they go down first, that's it. And again, same for the CPU's team or the other player's team. This adds to the feeling of the Destroyer's title, as it really is just a last man standing. My first time through, I fumbled hard and only had like 2 characters left in the finals. Luckily, my opponent only had 3, but I really thought I was going to have to juggle 5 enemies with Krillin and Z-Trunk's sword. Now, more about this whole Destroyer thing later. Now, before we talk about the custom tournament mode in this, since it is new, I just want to cover the classic modes that are returning real quick because I think it's important for them before we discuss the custom mode. Now, the classic modes that are back in this, I want to start with the Yamcha games because I think this is just a fun little mode. You basically have to play an entire tournament where you don't get to choose who you play as, so it's just random as it can get. And sometimes you get really, really lucky, and then other times you got to play as Yajirobe and figure out a way to take out Gogeta. Now, unlike in the World Tournament stage, when this matchup happens, you could just get lucky and get a ring out, but in the map selection here is random, so you might just be getting robbed on Rocky Desert Night with nothing you can do about it, which I also enjoy, just more randomness for such a random character at this point in the series. But I also have a problem with this mode and the fact that you can just choose random character at the selection screen anyways, kind of making it redundant. But I also have the same problem with this mode that I later have with the Cell games, in that you have to fight Yamcha at the end. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. You just kind of have to do that. But more into that later. Now, about Otherworld Tournament and World Tournament mode, these are basically like the same thing. Otherworld Tournament just having random matches so you don't get a ring out, and then World Tournament just being the exact same thing it was before. A World Tournament with a ring out. Now, and after all those, we do have the good old Cell games left. As a kid, okay, I didn't put a lot of time in this mode. I don't really like this mode, because I don't like knowing that in a tournament who I'm going to fight, especially at the very end. Like, even if I choose a random character after playing the game this much, I still feel like I could beat Cell with whatever character I choose. I mean, I will give this mode credit for the same reason I gave the Yamcha games credit. Like, yeah, it's a fun idea, but I just don't like knowing the fact who I'm going to face in a tournament that's supposed to be anonymous. Like, it really beats the whole point to me, but I am glad it's here. Really nice fan service. Now, to get down to the bread and butter, the custom tournament mode, man. This thing eats, it goes hard, because this is full immersion. Whatever you want within its limits, you can have. Basically, long story short, any of the modes we just talked about, you can create those in here and add whatever flair to them that you want. If you want that tournament of power feeling but want to add flying, yeah, you can do that. Or take any tournament and would add whatever rules you want. It's amazing. But basically, it also takes away the point to any of these modes. Like, they're all here to me because of online matching and giving the player an idea of what they can do in the game, right? Like, the reason I want to knock Yamcha games and the Cell games so much is because they seem redundant with a mode like this, or that I can just choose a random character anyways and turn off healing if I want to experience closer to the Cell games. Like, the only things they have that this game doesn't is they have a predetermined final match, which to me shouldn't be in a tournament mode anyway, so the fact that the custom tournament mode doesn't add that fact keeps it with the whole simplistic mode that it is, which still making it complex when you want to. But yeah, overall, I think the devs definitely fired on all cylinders with this one and really delivered something special. I mean, this whole screen has its own charm and vibe to it, just like the original, and you can really feel the love that went into this. But for the rest of the game, that's for next time.